Get in. There you are, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
So, rolling now. Barry
Hi, everybody.
Shore. So, Barry, could you just tell your story starting from the beginning?
The beginning?
Yes.
Well, the beginning was when I was born, but let's... Actually, this is a birth. This is about birth. I will tell you the following. 17th of September in the year 2004, which is coming up now to 7 years ago, because this is the year 2011. I was standing up in the morning just like anybody watching this, and that evening I was in the hospital a quadripalegic. I was paralyzed from my neck down. I could literally move my head left to right, and that was it. I got a very rare disease called Guillain-Barré syndrome, GBS for the cognoscenti. And obviously made a difference in my life because my wife and my son took me to the hospital. I told them, well, it's okay, I'll be home tomorrow. Sure, just a little something, who knows what it is. And somehow I was able to get to sleep that night. I think they gave me some drugs. I got up in the morning and the neurologist said to me, Mr. Shore, you have something very serious. It may be fatal. I need to do some tests. Are you with me? And I literally couldn't move anything on my body. So they did some tests, found out what it was. I was in the ICU for 11 days. That's the intensive care unit, of course. I was in a telemetry unit for about 3 weeks. I was in the hospital in total about 4.5 months, again, completely paralyzed. By the time I came home in January of 2005, I now spent the next 2 years in a hospital bed in my own house, unable to turn over. I was 3 years in a wheelchair. I had braces on both legs from my hips to my ankles for a year and a half. Then I, thank God, graduated to short ankle braces, walking with a walker. Now I walk with just a wonderful Zen pole, which you'll see in just a moment. So those are just the statistics. The important thing for this particular video is I swim. And swimming has been one of the most important aspects of my recuperation, which of course is all based on PTL, prayer, therapy, and love. And if it wasn't for the Laughlins, Terry Laughlin specifically, in creating TI, I wouldn't be where I am today, which is certainly far more healthy and capable than ever could have imagined in my life, considering what I've gone through. Just a short story on that is that I had a very dear friend who urged me to get into the water as part of my recuperative process. And I'm watching this magnificent, beautiful woman just move to the water. And of course I stopped her at one point. I said, hello. I told her my name. I asked her hers. I said, where did you learn to do that? And she said, Total Immersion. I said, what? She said, Total Immersion. So I went online, looked it up, and it's a great story. I got the book out of the library. I got the video. And because of my situation, I have attendants 12 to 15 hours a day, 7 days a week, helping me move and take care of me and transporting me, etc., etc. One of them was a dear friend of mine. He was also a swimmer. Got me in the water, and we had that time, those days, we had, you can't see it right now, but I had floaties on both of my legs, and I had floaties around my tummy and floaties on both arms, and I was on my back, and just to keep me moving and allow some of my limbs to hopefully move on my own, we used the book and the video, we both studied it, to begin the process of using the TI method. And it is a method, and as everybody knows who's watching this, if you haven't used it yet, it will transform you. If you're using it now and you use it more, it transforms you. It allows you literally to become one with the water. As Terry says so brilliantly in the book somewhere, it's the yoga of swimming. It is a mind-body continuum that transforms the process from flopping around and moving water around to literally enjoying the experience. Every stroke becomes beneficial and loving and joyous. And of course, that's what life is about. I'm a proponent of something called Keep Smiling. This is my foundation. I'm just making a little plug. We have it in 17 languages now. And what it does is promotes joy, happiness, peace, and love throughout the world. And I am here to tell you that TI is very much a part of it, certainly for me. So I'm going to tell you one story. It'll take just about 38 seconds. It's the following. Literally just about able to move my limbs along with floaties in the water. And that took months and months and months to be able to move somewhat effortlessly, again, with help. But once I got to the point where I was actually moving, and I'm very persistent, as you probably can see, or maybe you will understand, I was able by November 18th actually, of '06, to swim a mile without stopping on my back. It took about 92, 93 minutes, but I did it. And it was a very big event for me because I'd never done that in my life. And by that time I was 57 years old. And I said, this is really something. So I continued swimming. I didn't get back to being able to do a mile without stopping for another few months, but I made a decision in January of the following year, which was '07, that when I'm going to swim hopefully at least a mile every time I swim. I did that 2 or 3 days a week. For me, that was huge. A lot of therapy I was doing. I was working out 3 hours to 4 hours every day with all kinds of therapies. Remember, prayer, therapy, and love is the key to success for me. So suffice it to say that by June of that year, of '07, I had swum 50 miles. Now again, put it in perspective. That's me. Now I'm 58 years old, and I'm recovering from being quadripalegic. To swim 50 miles in a certain period of time was a big event. I actually wrote an essay. I sent it to Terry. He liked it a lot. Put it on the internet, and it was a moving experience. I have a lot of people to thank that helped me and encouraged me and stuff, because I'm still in the wheelchair, and at Santa Monica Pool people were applauding. It was really nice. But now I'm going to fast forward and tell you something amazing. This year 9, I'm going to do even better. And I did. I got crazy, and I did hours every day. And I swam over 400 miles, so that by the end of the year, I swam a total of 1,000 miles in those 3 years. It doesn't stop there, because I am crazy and I love this. And again, this is all TI. I'm using the method. I'm getting stronger. I don't have floaties on my arms anymore. I don't have to use floaties on my belly. I can even swim on my tummy, which they wouldn't allow me to do in the beginning because they thought I would choke. But I gained more strength. The legs a lot less, but the upper body and the arms, even though I don't look it, I'm still only 148 pounds, but I'm capable. So suffice it to say that in the next, let me see, that took 3 years. So by February of '11, I had accomplished 2,000 miles of swimming. Because I write them down every day how much I do. And the overall goal is to accomplish, at some point in my life, 10,000 miles. The numbers aren't important. What I do want to get across is, I was a quadriplegic. TI and swimming has helped transform me into being far more capable in everything I do, not just swimming, in everything. It makes a difference in my life. And again, we're here to spread joy, happiness, peace, and love. Yes, okay, I have a positive attitude, you can say, but it's all part and parcel of the process. And anybody watching this, you can do anything. I am living proof of it. You can't swim for 4 hours a day, so swim for an hour, swim for a half hour, but do it consistently. Use the TI method. It will be of benefit to you and to everybody you meet, because you are a divine being. And we need to spread more joy, happiness, and peace and love in the world, because that's what it's all about. Swimming will make that happen. Thank you, TI. We love the Laughlins. Yay, team!
Thank you so much.